Yo, what's up, guys? It is your boy, Big Uncle Zach. Zach's Corner podcast is back, ladies and gentlemen. Very excited to get this back up and running. I've been talking about it for way too long, but finally just got the time to set some things up here and yeah, get it going. So we're at beautiful Finishers HQ right now. Just I'm gonna get better as I go. Obviously, I haven't done a podcast in a while. I've done other people's podcasts, but haven't been able to do my own, especially when it's just me talking for like 15, 20 minutes or however long I'm going to be able to get it done. But this one I just wanted to do just because we just hooked it up tonight and I wanted to come on and, start putting this back up on YouTube, started getting it back up on Spotify, and just kind of going over what's going on in the Finishers universe, if you will. So, welcome to Zach's Corner podcast, and thank you guys for listening. And yeah, we'll get it going. It might take a little bit to get back to our old ways, but in due time. In due time. So I hope everybody's doing well. This past weekend, let's go around just random news from finishers. We just had IBJJF Pans, and I will say IBJJF is a good tournament. I used to talk a lot of crap on it back in the day, and I'll still talk some crap on it. Things I could feel they need to improve on, or just rules that are kind of like wishy-washy. Some people got DQ'd and everything, but hey, even if you get DQ'd or even if you do something wrong, like I'm kind of over complaining about the rule set or complaining about just the tournament in general. Like obviously, if you get totally screwed over, but at this point, it's like I know what we signed up for. I knew the leg locks and masters weren't 100% legal, so getting DQ'd for a knee bar, even though I tapped the guy, it's whatever. You know what I mean? I drove all this way and I can't even knee bar. It just felt like a good time to bring back the knee bar guy. So whatever though, I mean, I'm going to learn from that, and I feel like upcoming IBJJFs, I'm just going to play the game a little bit better. We've already been working on ways to pull guards so we can try to score first, or at least prevent the other guy from scoring on me right off the bat, and just going down two and having to come back on someone who's really good is going to be very tough. It's going to take everything you got to submit these guys that don't want to be submitted, and they don't want to engage, and to really force some of these guys to engage, we got to make it an even playing field. So no more giving up 2 points right off the bat for absolutely nothing. We're going to work on our guard pulls, and we're going to keep working wrestling. So, yeah, we're just going to keep it going, and we're going to get better at IBJJF. We got the Worlds coming up, which is in December. I'm not 100% on whether I'm going to do it or not, but I guess as a Masters, I don't have to qualify, so I can just show up to the tournament and just make sure I make weight. But I felt really good, man. I felt, being 42 years old, just being out there with other guys my own age. And, I did cut a decent amount of weight for it, but I was also on vacation the week before. So that's my excuse for being 165 pounds and having to cut down to 148 to make sure I make 149 with my stuff on. But I did it thanks to Cut Pro. Those of you guys, if you never cut weight properly, which I never had, I would just starve myself and do like really hard water cuts and do the water loading and all this stuff. But if you're looking for someone that's a professional in the game, me and Jimbo both been working with Anthony from Cut Pro. He gave me all of our meals, and you don't have to stick to it exactly. But if you're doing doing most of it, you're gonna be good. You're gonna have good opportunity to succeed with the weight cut. And his big thing is you can eat more, drink more, weigh less. And you just got certain times where you have to eat, certain things you got to eat, certain supplements you can take to really help yourself out so it's not really taxing on your body. And that's kind of like the main thing. Putting yourself in the sauna, and you sweat every night, which is good. You do like a night sweat, so you're either jumping in a sauna or you're doing a hot bath or something, but you're just getting your body used to sweating. I already knew that, but I didn't know I didn't really have it down to a science. I just would try to cut water weight earlier than later, so that way I could wake up in the morning and get something to eat right away. So, um, you know, doing the weight cut professionally is a big difference than just doing whatever you want. Like I'll just starve myself and not eat. Not good. And guys are trying to do really big weight cuts and water loading and all this stuff. Great. But I think it's partially just, your portion size, what you're eating, and when you're eating, and just little tricks like the lemon lime water, which is really good with salt. Eating the honey during training, like during he even gave us what to eat during the matches. So after the first match, I was eating a little bit, had some avocado, had some rice, I had a little bit of honey. I don't like to eat much on competition day anyway, but just being under at night allowed me to have a little coffee in the morning, have some blueberries before I had to weigh in. Because IBJJF, you have to weigh in with your stuff on pretty much 10 minutes before you compete. So it's supposed to deter a lot of weight cutting, which I think it does. Like if you feel like shit going into the match, which I did before when I did IBJJF pans in like 2016 or 19, I can't remember what year it was, one of those years, getting old, guys. But yeah, so this time way better weight cut, only had to cut down to 49. Felt real good. Everybody made weight on our team, which was dope. So but we got things to work on, and we're always going to have things to work on. But this is one of the reasons why you go out there and you do the tournament. You go, even if you shit the bed in this one and you're like, man, I could have did so much better, do better. Just come back to the next one. Like I said, there's a million tournaments. We got trials coming up, which is in November. We got a couple guys doing that. Obviously, Thor, Laura, Britt. Makovsky's going to compete in the one the day before, which is really dope. Want to see him throw down. Big Victor, who just won Pans at Blue Belt, super heavy, going down to do that. So I got a lot of stuff I want to work on with him. And it's in Orlando, which is dope. So I get to sneak the family down one more time, get to go to Disney World, and we're going to check out, hopefully, guys, let me know in the comments when I drop this, if any of you guys been to the Super Mario World. I want to go see that over in Universal Studios. Growing up, I never watched Harry Potter. I think I'm too old for that, but my wife is into it, so definitely going to cruise by Harry Potter World. And I think we're going to go to Animal Kingdom. I think that's the other one, because we've already been there twice in the past couple years, and we went to Magic Kingdom, which is always a hitter. Magic Kingdom's got all, Chip and Dale and Minnie and Mickey and the whole nine. But I want to take my son to Universal. We did Universal last year, but I guess Universal has 3 parks. Like we saw Minions and Transformers, and I forget what else we saw, but we didn't even see, and we saw some of Harry Potter and Simpsons, which was really sick. I had a beer at Moe's, which was dope. But I don't remember, there's like Jurassic Park, and now there's Super Mario and a whole bunch of other stuff that we didn't even get to see because it's in a whole nother park. So that's going to cost mad dough, but I'm excited to go see it anyway. So that is coming up. Let's see what else. So much stuff I didn't get to talk about because I wasn't doing the podcast, but I think I'll dedicate one whole podcast to my CJI experience. It's not going to be tonight, but I do want to go over, CJI, the whole Craig Jones experience, CJI 2, what I thought, how the event went for me, getting yelled at Andre Galval, arguing with Danaher in the back. So I'm going to dedicate one whole episode of Zach's Corner to CJI and just, everything leading up to it, and just, all the cool different things that happen with that, and all the backroom shenanigans that people don't know about that I haven't talked about yet because I've been trying to be respectful. But now I think because some of the guys came out and were super disrespectful, I can kind of light them up. But I'm not going to light them up too hard, but I'm definitely going to, just kind of tell my side of the story and what happened. And I don't know why I took so much shit, though. I didn't even judge the last match. I didn't make the call. The rules made the call. So, but I'm going to save it. I'm going to save that for another time. But I'll definitely drop a whole podcast on CJI 2, and we'll go over everything with that. What else is going around? Finishers. We got December 13th. We got a couple guys doing kickboxing fights. I was just talking to Coach Mike about that. We do have the Finishers Fall Classic, which is October 13th. We got Jordan Giuliano is going to be competing in that. Renee is going for the vacant 85 title against Nick Willie. And there's a ton of good matches. And the Finishers, we have a lot of fun with it. We filmed some stuff for it tonight. We called it the Fall Classic because actually there were a couple tournaments that stole my idea. We've been calling it Halloween Havoc for the longest time, and now all of a sudden they're calling it Halloween Havoc. So I'm like, okay, cool. I love those tournaments. Totally fine that they rip me off. That's all good. I'm not mad about it. We just pivot, and now we're going to call it the Fall Classic, and it's kind of football themed. And speaking of football, we just dropped a Raiders themed hoodie, and we're going to have a t-shirt that's going to go with it too. And we got a pair of sweatpants. So if you want the new Finishers hoodie and sweatpants, you can go to finishershop.com or just go to the website and link it, or you can go to the link tree in the bio of the 10 Planet Bethlehem Instagram, and go to that, scoop some gear if you want to support me, the squad, the podcast. If you want to just rock some cool stuff that's a little bit different. Thor said we're doing a lot of skulls. We definitely got to lay back on some of the skulls. I like skulls, but I think we can change it up a little bit. We do have We did drop a whole bunch of rash guards too. So if you go on the website on the fall drop, we got a pre-sale up. Rash guards are only $45. A couple different ones on there. So like I said, you want to support the squad. That's how you can do it. Buy some sick gear. What else we got going on? I think that's pretty much it. I'm just pumped to do the podcast again. Shout out to Mike Fauerbach helping me get this going. And he's doing hot dogs and high life, so go on and check out him on Instagram as well. He's going around eating glizzies, and we got a lot of ideas. Me and Quentin were just going over a whole bunch of stuff, so we got some ideas. We filmed a whole bunch of cool stuff that has to do with Andrew Tate meeting Derek Moneyberg today, so that'll be coming out eventually, probably pretty soon. But yeah, so very excited to get this going again and excited to just be talking. So if anybody out there wants to like DM me stuff to talk about or just questions they might have or whatever, I can definitely do that. So we'll talk jiu-jitsu, we'll talk MMA, we'll talk rap. I heard, speaking of rap and hip hop, guys know, I like everything. I like reggae. I like rap. I like hip hop mostly. Those are my main genres. Rock too, obviously. But I heard Big L was putting out another album. A lot of people don't even know who Big L is. One time we picked up Eddie Bravo from the airport and we were bumping Big L, probably was Flamboyant or something like that, or Ebonics. And he was like, "Who is this, man? He's really good." I'm like, "This is Big L, man." And a lot of people on the West Coast just don't respect East Coast rap, nor do they know a lot of the East Coast guys. So we're definitely going to go over some what's going on in the hip hop community. I kind of honestly don't even know a lot about stuff that's going on now, but I am getting into some of the younger guys have gotten me into the different babies like Little Baby and Dub Baby. I do like Pop Smoke. He's dead as well, just like Big L. But I'm still going to be ripping them to the end, right? We're still going to put those guys on because, Big L is never going away. And if he's putting out a new album, he probably has so many unreleased tracks that have just never been put out. So supposedly it has something to do with Nas. Like I think Nas might be on some of it. So they were both kind of signed to the same label, I'm pretty sure, back in the day. So I think that'll be dope. And we'll just go over, whatever you guys want to talk about. But that's pretty much all I got. I want to shout out let me grab it real quick. Shout out one of our sponsors, Puffco. Shout out to Chelsea Puffco. Thanks for sponsoring the gym. Check out all your Puffco products. But other than that, we are good to go. So Zach's Corner Podcast, thanks for listening. And we will talk to you soon. Peace.